Imagine buying a smartphone today and expecting to still be using it in 2046.
I mean, that sounds completely insane.
Right. But, that's exactly the expectation we're placing on our EVs when we buy them for the long haul. Since we know you're passionate about EVs and the green transition, today's deep dive is highly practical.
Yeah, we're looking at the 25,000 to 32,000 euro range.
Exactly. We want to see which ones can actually survive a 20-year lifespan with, minimal maintenance. We're looking at the Renault 5 E-Tech, the Volkswagen ID Polo, and the BYD Dolphin.
Because, well, buying an EV for 2 decades isn't a tech upgrade cycle.
No, it's a marriage. And when you're looking at a 20-year amortization schedule, the initial hardware dictates everything.
It really does. If we want to understand what makes an EV last, we have to look straight at the battery chemistry. Our sources highlight a massive divide here.
Yeah, between the Renault and the higher trim VW on one side and the BYD on the other.
Right, so the Renault 5 and the VW use NMC batteries. Those are rated for about 1,000 to 1,500 charge cycles.
While the BYD Dolphin uses an LFP blade battery, and that can handle 3,000 to 5,000 cycles, it could theoretically hit 1,000,000 kilometers before any major degradation.
It's a huge difference.
But wait, I have to push back on the LFP hype for a second. Isn't this just a turtle and hare scenario?
How do you mean?
Well, NMC has a higher energy density, right? That gives you less weight and more range right out of the gate.
Yeah.
For day-to-day driving, doesn't that make the hare the better choice?
On paper? Maybe. But over a 20-year horizon, the turtle definitely wins, and it comes down to the underlying chemistry.
Okay, walk me through that.
So with an NMC battery, charging to 100% physically stresses the crystal lattice of the battery cells.
Ah, right.
Yeah, the high voltage basically degrades the structure over time, which is why manufacturers tell you to cap daily charging at 80%.
Right, so you're not even using that full range every day.
Exactly. But an LFP battery has a much more stable iron phosphate structure. It simply doesn't care about being impactful.
You can safely charge it to 100% every single night.
Every single night, without damaging that lattice.
Okay, I see what you're saying. The NMC might have a higher theoretical range, but if I'm only supposed to use 80% of it daily to protect the battery, I'm not actually accessing that advantage.
Precisely.
Plus, if I'm driving this thing for 2 decades, that NMC pack is likely hitting its 80% health threshold by, what, year 10 or 12?
Yeah, easily. While the LFP is still just chugging along, that's the real world math. The LFP can go the full 20 years without needing a cell replacement.
But I mean, 1,000,000-kilometer battery is completely useless if the car literally falls apart around it.
Oh, 100%. Which is why we need to look at mechanical simplicity, starting with the suspension.
This is actually where the Renault 5 makes me a bit nervous for a long-term hold.
Because of the multi-link rear suspension.
Yeah. Now, for cornering in the city, it's agile and it's amazing. But mechanically, it's like a human knee.
That's a good way to put it. Lots of ligaments.
Exactly. It relies on a complex network of rubber bushings, control arms, and joints. Over 15 years of hitting potholes, those ligaments are going to tear. It becomes a maintenance nightmare.
Right, whereas the VW ID Polo and the BYD Dolphin take the exact opposite approach. They use a torsion beam suspension.
So closer to a solid piece of bone.
Yeah, to borrow your anatomy metaphor, yes. It's a low-intervention design with far fewer moving parts.
Which is what you want for 2 decades of driving.
Definitely. And we have to apply that exact same logic to the interior.
Oh, the electronics.
Right. If a decade of road vibrations can destroy a complex suspension, imagine what it does to delicate electronics inside the cabin.
Which brings us to the interfaces. Because, let's be real, a broken screen basically totals a modern car.
It really does.
Yeah.
And this is where the VW ID Polo truly shines in our sources. They brought back tactile physical buttons for essential controls like climate.
Yes, a physical switch ages perfectly.
Exactly. Even if the underlying software gets a little laggy in, say, 2040, that button will still physically turn on your defroster.
But the BYD Dolphin kind of hides a major long-term risk right on its dashboard.
The motorized rotating infotainment screen.
Yes, a motorized screen just screams unnecessary point of failure.
Totally.
You just know that 15 years from now, a little dust gets into those gears, the motor burns out, and suddenly your screen is permanently stuck at some weird 45-degree angle.
It's a significant technical caveat in an otherwise really robust package.
For sure.
What we're seeing across these sources is this fascinating paradox. The premium features, like the complex multi-link suspension or the motorized screens, are actually the very things that decrease the car's lifespan.
So let's distill this down for a buyer looking at these. The Renault 5 E-Tech is your agile city car with seamless Google integration, but, maybe not your forever car.
Right.
And the VW ID Polo is the rational cargo king. It offers 441 liters of trunk space and the reliability of actual physical buttons.
Which we love.
But the BYD Dolphin, with its million-kilometer LFP battery and standard heat pump to preserve winter range, is really the ultimate choice for a low-cost 20-year hold.
The simpler the car, the better the investment. Keep it simple. Keep it running.
Exactly. But, it does leave us with one final, slightly terrifying thought for you to ponder.
Oh, what's that?
Let's say the LFP battery and those simple mechanical parts do physically survive 20 years. Will the infotainment software powering the car still be usable 2 decades from now?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Or will your indestructible electric vehicle just become an obsolete digital brick? Something to chew on. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.